This vehicle has many good qualities, but the more good qualities I find, the more bad qualities I find. I think what I'll do is I'll point out the negatives to start off with. The first thing I'd say is the rear view vision is very heavily obstructed by the headrests, the rear seat headrest. It's a problem. It takes up nearly all the room. Also, there's an annoying seatbelt hanging down from the headlining, which also takes up more room. So, if you have people sitting in the back, I doubt really you'd be able to look out the back. But I guess people can drive vans without the back window, so it's not the end of the world. However, saying that, the side mirrors are superb. They're enormous. You've got a lot of vision. You can see what's going on. The driving position is very good. It may be a little bit bench-like, but once you get the position right, it's actually very comfortable. The general visibility around the car is fine. The vehicle does sort of swing around a bit if you give it a bit of a shake, a bit sort of like an articulated feeling, which would be a bit of concern driving at speed or perhaps having to swerve. The interior of the car is very plain, but it's minimalistic and functional. All the buttons and switches are within easy access, and they're very, very simple. In fact, to be honest with you, this is the most simply laid out center console I can think of in a modern car. Honda have really gone to a lot of trouble here to get rid of all the knobs and buttons, which is extremely clever. You have the extendable handbrake here, which is maybe not to everybody's cups of tea, but it does work well. The instrument cluster here is highly visible, very easy to read, and yet again I've got to give 10 out of 10 to Honda for that. The steering is very light indeed. But now I'm going to come to a negative point. This car does not like corners. It does not like corners at all. Today's a very wet day, and going around corners, I'm aware of the front wheel drive losing traction, and it's not a very secure feeling driving a car around a corner in the wet, knowing that the front wheels are slipping. You know, there's not ball tires, it's front wheel drive, and it's slipping basically. That's what it is. It happens in every other front wheel drive car I get in the rain. I think the front wheel drive is such a bad option, it really is. It's okay until it rains, or, you know, the only time it's good to have a front wheel drive really is if it's snowing. They seem to come out on tops. Anyway, the general ride of this car is okay. It does have some strange characteristics though, as I say, like with the slipping skiddy front wheels. But this has the high up gear selector, which, to be quite fair, is rather nice. It's, you know, it's not awkward at all. You're not going to have your hand up there very much. It's an interesting car, this, to be honest, because being in a mechanical background myself, I know that Hondas and Mitsubishis are the cars which just don't seem to ever break down. They are well put together, they are well engineered, but there are a few quirky little mistakes with this car, and you will become aware of them once you take one of these cars for a test drive. If you're looking at a vehicle for ferrying people around, the kids to the school, doing shopping, maybe even on a commercial basis like taxiing, then this is an ideal car. It's very spacious, you've got a lot of room. But I would say, how safe can you feel in a car when you go around a corner and the car slides all over the place? You know, it's not a nice feeling. You know, if it does that at 30 miles an hour, if you're doing 70 miles an hour and you suddenly have to swerve out of a lane, or your tyre pops, you know, just how much control are you going to have over this vehicle? It's a point worth considering. So basically what I'm trying to say is I personally don't feel safe driving this vehicle in the wet, and for that reason and that reason alone, I would not buy this vehicle, and I would certainly look at one with the rear wheel drive option. apart from that issue with the understeer, etc. from the front, I would say this is otherwise a very good vehicle, and it's got a lot of good qualities going for it. Take one for a test drive. I think you'll find it quite interesting.